Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to RWA Productions. Bradley Young here for another episode of match previews or reviews with a Sheffield Wednesday fan, Mitchell Guest. Good evening, Mitchell.
Hello.
Good evening. And good evening to my co-host, as always, alongside me is Paul Wilson. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening.
Good evening. So we're going to go really in depth with this game. Sheffield Wednesday are still obviously rock bottom. Obviously Sunderland winning them last night 3-0 in style. 2 goals by Jack Clark and a goal by Daniel Ballard. So really great goal. Pritchard brings the corner in for the first goal. Ballard was running and there he was at the back post to make it 1-0 Sunderland. Second goal was kind of, I think it was Burstow who chipped it across to Jack Clark. Jack Clark, really, really good on his feet, really good. Kept the ball about 10, 15 yards, had a shot from about 20 yards out and scored. Second goal, 2-0, bang. Then third goal, Patrick Roberts, really good on his touch, kind of left the Sheffield Wednesday left back for dead, ran past him, passed it to Mason Burstow, and obviously was a foul in the box by Diaby, was a penalty. Jack Clark stepped up, calm and collected, 3-0, home and dry. So, Paul Wilson first. What's your thoughts on this game? What's your thoughts?
Well, to be honest, in a way, I actually expected a reaction. You know, with the statement actually that came out from the owner, and I thought straight away, because I actually said to Bowers, I reckon something's going to happen here. Because the players wouldn't have saw the statement, but the manager would have seen that, and I thought straight away something's going to happen. But I wasn't expecting that scoreline.
No. Well, you predicted 3-0, didn't you, Paul? You predicted 3-0, as you remember. So, two great goals by Jack Clark, obviously the penalty, what I've just mentioned before. And, anything else you want to add, Paul? Or go to Mitchell?
No, not really. But to be honest, the penalty, and not Jack Clark took it, but I would give it to Burstow.
Well, this is the thing, right? If a player goes down in the box, it's basically your opportunity to take the penalty, whoever's fouled in the box. So I would have given Burstow a penalty myself as well. And obviously, if he did score, that will get his confidence going. But at this moment in time, he still hasn't found the goal for us at the moment to obviously have his tally on the score sheet. But
saying the way, though, Brad, because I even said to Bowers, I would just still give it to Burstow. Let him take it, and then if it goes in, then he's off the mark.
Mitchell, what was your thoughts on the game last night?
Well, shocking. I did predict 4-0 Sunderland in my predictions the other day. I predicted Sunderland would absolutely annihilate us, and I went too far off. And then when I saw that statement from Chancellor, I thought, it was going to just get from bad to worse, and it did. As soon as when you went 2-0 up inside our opening 8-9 minutes, I turned around and said, it's good. We'll be lucky to not even concede 6 goals this game. It was just that bad.
Well, Sheffield Wednesday obviously still rock bottom. One I've mentioned, 2 points on a -12 goal difference. So, next game, who's your next game against Mitchell?
West Brom away on Tuesday.
Bloody hell!
And they're going to that game after beating Preston 4-0 today.
So they won Preston 4-0 as well. So it's going to be a tough one for you on Wednesday and Tuesday night to take as well. But obviously, the statement what was brought out from your chairman? Is it Chai? I can't pronounce his name. Is it Chai? Is it Chiracy or someone, your owner?
Judge von Chancever.
Yeah, I thought something like that. But what's your thoughts on that statement, Mitchell? What was your thought?
2 seconds, let me get it up again.
Yeah, no problem. No worry. Like I say, when I normally have guests on, it's normally booked for an hour this podcast anyway, so there's no big hurry. Just take your time.
The thing that got me the most about this is that this statement the other day was when he put in about he's not going to be putting normal money into the club. Now, that got me thinking, what does that mean for the club? Obviously, going forward, because we all know what this means. We're just going to keep going on a downhill spiral. As well, many Wednesday fans actually thought when the statement came out that Chancery was going to be willing to sell up, but we all know that's not going to happen.
No.
The way Chancery thinks that he's been treated unfairly, for me, it's just all lies. And now, honestly, looking back at the statements from both Darren Moore and Chancery now over that topic, majority of myself is leaning towards Darren Moore being the truthful one in this. And in my opinion, Darren Moore did a wonderful job at us last season, League One, broken several records, which no other Wednesday manager has done. And for me, he deserved a pay rise. And looking back at the statements, Darren Moore weren't asking for a lot. He was asking for a respectable championship wage, which he deserved after the season we've just come off in, breaking a points tally at home, a longest unbeaten run as well. We went 23 games, I believe, unbeaten. We did bottle automatic promotion. We did bottle the title, but that's not what matters. We ended up getting promoted in the end. But going back on that, for me, Chancery just needs to get out of the club, sell up, let new owners come in, and see where the club goes from there. But we all know Chancery won't sell up. And after that defeat heavily last night to obviously Sunderland, for me, Jesco's time at the club should be up. But again, I can't see Desmond Chancery funding the money to sack him and replacing him.
Yeah, very good explanation for myself there, Mitchell. But also, apparently, Chancery's been given the subject of racial and personal abuse in recent years, which is also basically condoned by the vast majority of the club's fan base and by the outside media. He says no personal abuse is acceptable. So is that from the fans yourselves who's been given them the abuse? So what's been going on behind the scenes?
Obviously, this is the first I've obviously heard of Chancery coming out and saying this. Obviously, I did read the statement myself when it first came out. But obviously, if that is true, then it shouldn't happen. There's no room for racism all out like that in football. But again, if that is happening, then something needs to be done about that as well.
Yeah, well, what we were saying earlier, Mitchell, me and you, obviously on the Facebook conversation when we were saying about two Sheffield Wednesday supporters, obviously showing a picture of Bradley Lowry laughing their heads off. That's absolutely disgraceful as well, isn't it?
That's literally disgraceful. And the two people who obviously did do that, they should get a lifetime ban as well coming their way. So I do hope our club itself do react to that and do obviously sort it all out. It's people like them who give fan bases and fans of that club who's done nothing wrong a bad name and drags the team name down in the dirt as well.
Yeah, well, Apparently, we'll go Sheffield
Here's one,
Wednesday.
Lord Mitchell. If you actually got rid of your manager, what type of manager do you actually think you'll actually bring in?
Just anyone other than Zisco. Me personally, I'd take a Dean Smith with John Terry as his assistant. They did wonders at Aston Villa in their promotion push as well to the Premier League. Do I think realistically we will get someone like Dean Smith? No. Not knowing that obviously with rock bottom, the only team now in the league without a win. It's just a matter of time. We've got to change managers sooner rather than later, because if we leave it too late, it's going to be over and done with. We'll be back down in League One. But yeah, I'd take a Dean Smith, obviously. I wouldn't mind Frank Lampard in the Championship, not so much the Premier League. But yeah, I'd 100% take Lee Bullen back. He did good for us when he was interim manager a few times. So if he did come back from Ayr United in Scottish League, I'd take him as a first team manager.
Well, apparently, what I've heard as well now from Sheffield Wednesday's club website, apparently we pulled it up earlier on, and I'm going to share my screen. So, 2 seconds. Is this going to work? Is this not going to work? Hope it does, fingers crossed. And it does work, so here we go. So, it says on here that we are aware that of the images circulating and have launched an immediate investigation together with South Yorkshire Police. We roundly condone this outrageous and utterly deplorable behaviour. We can only apologise at the undoubted distress caused to Bradley's family and friends. So, well done, Sheffield Wednesday well done for Sheffield Wednesday for absolutely sorting the situation out, what's going on behind the scenes between what's going on with these two. But I don't know. Apparently, they've been named and shamed as well. So, whoever that is, Dale and Drew, they'll be coming for you. So, get prepared.
Yeah, like I said on Ant's channel, though, that Gemma, Bradley's mum's actually even spoke out about it because she got contacted by Devon police just to see if they were okay, which they are. And Devon police has told her that Yorkshire police is actually working. They're actually working with Sheffield Wednesday to sort it all out.
So, Sheffield Wednesday's next few games coming up, we've got West Brom away from home on Tuesday night. A nice trip down to West Brom Stadium. Then they've got Huddersfield at home next weekend. And they travel down in the numbers to Vicarage Road the week after. So, next 3 games, how do you see yourself picking up points? Do you see yourself picking up points?
That Huddersfield game will be interesting to see. Obviously, Darren Moore returned to Hillsborough. Me personally, I hope he does get a good reception because he deserves it. I can see that West Brom game ending at least 3 or 4-0 West Brom. Again, same with Huddersfield, at least 2 or 3-0 to Huddersfield. Watford, again, we'll be lucky enough to even get a point against Watford. I'd go 3 or 4-0 against Watford as well. Me personally, I don't know where our first wins of the season is coming up against. We've obviously got West Brom away, Huddersfield at home, Watford away there. The second newly promoted side in Plymouth, I can't see us beating them at home park. Rotherham, it's going to be 23rd against 24th. Coming into that game more likely. Again, I can see Rotherham even beating us, and that hurts me to say that as well. Bristol City, Millwall, I can see us losing them games as well. Then we've got Birmingham, I can see us losing that. And then we've been lucky to keep it down at 4 or 5-0 against Leicester. Honestly, I can't see us even winning the game before Christmas.
So looking at what you've just said there, saying that you won't win a game before Christmas, do you think you're going to get relegated back to League One? And if you're saying that, is that what you?
It depends. It depends, obviously. it does depend on other results, obviously, around us. If we keep losing and then they keep losing as well. But me personally, I can see us relegated by the end of January. I really can. End of January, end of February, I can see us back down in League One.
Oh, bloody hell. And on the other side, obviously, Sunderland, they are fourth in Championship of the moment on 16 points. Where do you think Sunderland will finish in the league this season, Mitchell?
Personally, I do think Sunderland will get top 6. I do think that. There was just class last night at Hillsborough. But again, they did have that downfall against Cardiff where they did lose 1-0, but last night they didn't. They proved themselves to pick themselves back up. And it's going to be interesting to see how Sunderland do the next few games. But I do think Sunderland will finish at least 3rd or 4th.
I'll do that.
Okay. I'll snap your hands off for that any day. So, yeah. Firstly, before we talk about anything else,
same for us. I think for us, I think it depends on these next 2 games that we've got. Watford Wednesday and Middlesbrough on Saturday.
Right, to be honest, I want to go more in depth with this topic, to be honest. I want to go more in depth with this, to be honest. Because this has hit me the most, so I want to go in more in depth with this. 2 seconds. So I'm going to read out Acacia's comments and I'm going to read through the statement myself. So Acacia Cameron Duty says, I'm here, sorry lads, I'm late. And she also put that 2 seconds. Yeah, I agree that the Huddersfield game for Sheffield Wednesday next should be a fantastic game, says Acacia as well. She also says that I think it'll probably be 1-1 for Sheffield Wednesday. And then she says, a bit of a glitch going on here with my thing, 2 seconds. And Rotherham and Wednesday for the next Derby game will be a 2-2 draw for definite. Oh, that'll be a nice tasty game, that, to be honest. But I want to read more in depth of this. So it says here, Jonathan Chansiri, Sheffield Wednesday owner, says he will stop funding club after insults. So he says on here, Sheffield Wednesday owner Declan Chansiri says that he will not put any more money into the Championship club. In a statement, the Thai businessman has said that he will take responsibility for all the club's issues, but is unhappy with treatment towards him and his family from some fans. From now, I will not put additional money into the club, Chansiri said. The Owls were bottom of the Championship, play Sunderland on Friday at 8 o'clock. Obviously, we beat them last night. So, after just winning promotion from League One in the playoff final at Wembley in May, they have taken just 2 points from their opening 8 fixtures under Spaniard Francisco Muniz. He replaced manager Darren Moore, who left in the summer, having taken the Owls up. In a lengthy statement, which Chansiri said he thought about making for some time, but never thought he would have to do. He told supporters that protests are a waste of time. I am the one who saved the club and spent the money for the club. I am the one who needs to pay around $2 million on average every month, he added. Some fans need to have more respect for the owners of clubs and not be so selfish, thinking of their own benefit without doing anything good to the club. Those fans who created trouble to the club and myself believe that they are the real owner of the club and need to be responsible for the financial matters of the club from now on. So nobody has to right to cross the line. So fans were unhappy about Moore's departure. Were you disappointed about Darren Moore's departure, Mitchell?
Yeah, I was. Obviously, we was on a high after the playoff final, beating Barnsley. And to be fair, no one, not even myself, saw this coming. Obviously, it was all rumoured and that Chansiri and Dalmo would speak about his future at the club. And that Chansiri come out and said that Dalmo was asking for a 6-figure, sum in bonuses to his wages, which I don't believe that a second. Dalmo Darren Moore doesn't seem that type of guy. He sounds like a nice person, to be fair. But yeah, I was gutted. Darren Moore left the club. And when we first appointed Xisco, I thought, oh yeah, he's got a good record in the Championship. He was at Watford for like half a season. Last time he was here, he got them promoted. But look at the team he had when he was managing Watford, the likes of João Pedro, Ismail Assar there, Ben Foster in goal there as well. To the players that he's managing now at Wednesday, the likes of Lee Gregory, by Bannon, Davis Vasquez, who me personally, I don't think is a bad goalkeeper. Obviously signed on loan from AC Milan. But managing our squad compared to Watford, there's a big difference in squad qualities. Like for Watford, they had a lot of Premier League stars in the team. For us, we've got a lot of dead bugs. We've got the oldest age squad in the league as well, which is not good for a newly promoted side. I thought when Xisco were coming in, it was going to get rid of a lot of the deadwoods, a lot of the players who aren't quality for the Championship no more, the likes of Lee Gregory. And I do like Gregory as a player, but for me, he's past it now. And in the next year or two, Bannon would be past it as well, if he's not past it already. But I think if we're going to have a chance at survival, though, we need to get rid of Xisco sooner rather than later, and hopefully before Tuesday night against West Brom.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fair enough, yeah. Right, going back into this now. And also complain about the high ticket prices at Hillsborough. So what's your ticket prices like, Mitchell, if you don't mind me asking?
They're
quite high.
Right, so let me just get these up for you.
Right, okay, no worries.
I should have them somewhere. The ticket prices for us are so expensive. Like, we're charging on the South Stand £700 and something for a season ticket.
What?
I bought mine on the cop for £500. £500 I bought mine for on the cop.
Fuck hell.
Exactly. It's like Chancery just doesn't care about the club. All he cares about is money that he's going to be getting. And I should have the season ticket, the prices for all the season tickets and that in a minute. Let me just go here. Right, and so our tickets for Huddersfield game starts at £34 and goes up as to £44 for adults. Let me just try and get all. Let me see if I can get all the ticket prices up.
Hold on, I think I've 2 seconds. If I do that, and if I
So yeah, for our season tickets,
I'll
they
also
start
do
at
that.
our season's tickets for under 25 starts at £450, goes to £640, but for adults starts at £595, goes to £825, which for me, for a newly promoted team, it's a rip-off. It honestly is a rip-off. And that's all that Chancellor is doing, is ripping off our fans. And I'm reading here now, the House can confirm matchday prices for the upcoming Championship season at Hillsborough. Matches will be priced accordingly around 3 to 4 weeks before each fixture. Savings can be made by joining the House membership packages, for which were announced earlier this week, with fantastic numbers already signed up. And if we skip a little bit, matchday categories for 23-24 season, on cop for adults, Category A is £45. So it rises from £27 to £45 on Cop. North Stand and Grandstands goes from £33 to £51. On the South Stand, from £36 all the way up to £59. Now, for £59 for just one game is a rip-off. Last season, it weren't any different either. We were charging a lot for season tickets. We were charging a lot for match day tickets as well. So for me, Desmond Transfer is not a businessman at all. All he likes to do is think about his money, and money is what's ruining football these days. You can't do anything with football. It's just about the money to people now.
Yeah, well, looking at category A, you're adults paying £45 in the South Stand, you're paying £59, so there's £14 difference for each for a stand. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, to be honest. But got a couple of comments in the chat. Yeah, honestly, it's ridiculous of the ticket prices. I'm fuming at Chancery, as I have friends who are Wednesday fans, and they were telling me about it, and they think it's absolutely stupid for all of that. To be honest, Acacia, I can agree with you. £45 for a ticket is not acceptable. We pay about, how much is that ours, Paul? About £29, something like that? £29 to £32 sometimes. Depends.
Yeah, it's around that much.
Yeah, so again, Sunderland are charging £29 to £32 for a ticket. And there goes Sheffield Wednesday paying obviously £16 more, and that's just for obviously the lower category.
You see the likes of like Luton, Sheffield United, Burnley, all having cheaper tickets on Wednesday, and they've been promoted to the Prem. Even Manchester City has cheaper tickets than Sheffield Wednesday on match days, and that's something they've just come off in a treble team as well. But yeah, Chancery come out. When Chancery first come into the team, he come out and said, if the fans didn't want me here, I will sell up. And obviously the fans don't want him here, and now he's refusing to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that reminds me of a little bit, Brad.
Yeah, well, let's.
That reminds me a little bit of Stuart Donald, a little bit.
Yeah. Same here, Paul. That's what I've just mentioned. Yeah, Stuart Donald and Charlie Medlin. That just reminds me of them two all over again. Same thing just happening on Wednesday. Hopefully, honestly, I'm really hoping for Sheffield Wednesday to try and win a few games soon for my friends to try and make them happy again. Well, the thing is, I've got some hard games coming up. We've got West Brom on Tuesday night, which is going to be a tough one, really, really tough test to take, as well as West Brom's at home as well. Then we've got Huddersfield on the 7th, which I've already went through the fixtures. But Huddersfield, I think they've won the last 3 on the bounce, I think.
Huddersfield has played 2 games under Dan Moore. They've drawn twice. They drew to Coventry on Monday, and then obviously they drew 1-1 to Ipswich today.
Oh, well. So unbeaten, basically, then.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm also unbeaten, so. It's not bad still, but yeah, so we're going to go back into the statement again. So where were we on here? So we'll talk about the high ticket prices. So, however, Chancery feels that some of the criticism towards him and his family has crossed the line. Fans can complain, criticise, give strong opinions, balanced opinions, say anything you like, he said. But no one has the right to cross the line or the right to try and cause damage, throw insults, or give go to my family, which has happened again, which I can't accept. Right, this is too much. Very good. If anyone wants to buy the club, follow the correct process. Chancery replaced Milan Mandrick as owner of the Owls in 2015, and under his tenure, they reached the championship playoffs in both 2016 to 17 under Carlos Carvalho, but they were eventually relegated in 2021 and needed 2 years to make it back up for League One. Chancery has also said that while the club is not technically up for sale, he will be open to any realistic offers. I know there are people who wish for me to leave, he said. I personally have never said a single word of my evaluation of Sheffield Wednesday of how much I want to sell what Sheffield Wednesday for, because I have never considered selling. It is easy someone come forward, and I am satisfied that the club will get better prosper that we can talk. If anyone wants to buy the club, they should act professionally and follow the correct process. All the information is required and published in accounts every year. There is nothing to hide. Very, very, very. What can I say? From John Seavey is. What is he
The
name?
problem is with Chansiri is it has been reported that he has been asking for 150 mil for the club. 150 mil. Now, he's not going to get anywhere near that. He bought the club for 50 mil himself. So all he's going to get for the club is around 40, 50 mil. Now, what owner changes his names on the seat from SWFC to his name? Because that's what Chansiri did. He changed SWFC on the seat to Chansiri. Before Chansiri, we were selling tickets for around £24. Now Chansiri's in, we're charging fans £51. Also, he's changed the badge. Now, this badge is a lot worse than the last badge. The last badge is iconic for Wednesday. It means a lot to the club. It's a lot simple, plainer than this one. The owl doesn't look like itself on the new badge as well. I've got here in front of me as well. Player signings, 45 mil altogether. Player sales, 9.18 mil. Annual rent, 2.5 mil. Now, we have lost a total of 132 mil as well. We've had 7 managers under Chansiri, 7 managers since he joined us in 2015. And obviously, we've had no direction. We've sold Hillsborough Stadium, we've had a points deduction, and we've had a transfer embargo under him. Now, he said he's not going to fund the club no more. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean the players aren't going to be getting paid as well? Does it mean, obviously, because he has to pay rent now on the stadium, because obviously we don't own it? Does it mean he's going to stop paying rent, which means we could be going in the direction of Scunthorpe, where we'd have to get kicked out of our own stadium? It could even mean, unfortunately, I don't want to think about this, but it could mean if he doesn't sell sooner rather than later, we could face potentially liquidation in the next few years. It's I wouldn't put it past it, but I wouldn't say we're that close to it. But it is still a possibility with the way we're going. Now, I thought the last owner was bad, but this one is literally just damaging the club. Look how good we was in years and years. We were competing in the Premier League. We even played in European back in like 19 something as well. And yeah, when he first joined us, we did get playoffs back to back, but still went nowhere. And ever since we missed out on the playoffs in the 2016-17 season, when we lost to Hull City in the final, it's just been a downhill spiral. We were 3rd at one point of Christmas. We finished 16th. The season after, we was top by Christmas, and we finished 17th. But for me, as long as Chansiri is in the club, it would not surprise me if we head down towards League 2.
The thing is, right, I'm looking at the bigger picture here. I think Sheffield Wednesday are a big club myself, but what Chansiri's doing, he's making them feel very small, basically. But looking at the bigger picture as well, I'm not gonna, like you just said before, if he doesn't leave anytime soon, your club could be going into some kind of administration or liquidation. That's what I'm concerned about, because a big club like Wednesday, who were playing in the Premier League about 20, 30 years ago, I think it was 91, 92 season, they were really, really good in Europe as well, apparently, back in them days as well. So
yeah, we did end up obviously, I've got a granddad who knows all this stuff, so it is a good thing. But obviously, we did end up getting to a European semi-final where we did just come up short to Atletico Madrid, but we're still competing in Europe back then. Obviously, since then, we've not when Chansiri came into the club, and ever since then, we've not had the closest we got to the Premier League was in the 2016-17 season or 15-16 season, where we lost to Hull in the per final. And then still then he treated the manager Carlos Carvajal like shit. He's literally treating every manager badly. He's not backing any managers at all, either. He doesn't back them with all the signings and that, which I think is wrong, because I think any owner should back the manager as well. It shouldn't just be about the owner. But yeah, as long as this manager, as long as Judge Von Transfer is the owner of us, we're not going anywhere.
Looking at obviously the last FA Cup final, what you had as well, I've just been looking like the big cups, the last FA Cup final you've had was in 1993 against Arsenal, and finished 1-1, but Arsenal won the replay 2-1 after extra time. So that was big as well for you. So massive, really massive.
Now, I can remember a few years ago we did beat Arsenal at Hillsborough. This was under Carlos Carvajal. We beat them 3-0 at Hillsborough in the cup. I think it was a Carabao Cup, which it might have been called something else back then. And it was all highs then, but it's literally just negative now. Gisco come out and did say that it's been negative since he come through. If we was that negative before he took the job, why did he take the job in the first place? If he doesn't like it, the reason why we're negative is because we've got a shocking owner like Chansiri at the club, running the club in the dirt. I've got in front of me here as well from Joe Cran, who reported it on the day of his release statement. Sheffield Wednesday chairman Desmond Chansiri has released another statement this morning. All I want and all I ever have wanted is the best for Sheffield Wednesday. And if anyone wishes to invest and come to and do a better job than me, we can talk. Obviously, we mentioned about his statement, but realistically, I can't see him selling as much as I want him to. No Wednesday fan can see him selling, but it needs to be done. He needs to sell, and he needs to sell now. If I can find what Gisco said after the Swansea game last weekend, Gisco said, "I know what the problem is and how I can help. Nobody is helping me to do this. I arrive at the club, and everybody is negative. Now, there's a reason, and again, like I've mentioned several times, we've got a shocking owner. I don't want my club going down the hill of Bolton, Derby, Scunthorpe, who obviously have just had to be moved out their own stadium. And their statement even said their players and team did not know about them getting removed from their stadium. We don't want to go the same way as Bowie either, where we had to go into liquidation now. Now, back in 2010, I read this earlier. Back in 2010, we was 24 hours away from going into administration, as well. And yeah, that was before Chansiri's era, but our last owner almost took us into administration, and I thought we'd never go down that road again. I honestly did, but Chansiri just looks like he's taken all the other way through to there. Obviously, last season we was on a high. We beat Newcastle in the FA Cup, I think it was, back in January, as well. We was competing against Ipswich, Plymouth, where we drew twice to Ipswich last season, both 2-2 away and at home. We beat Plymouth, who at the time were top of the league. Obviously, did go on to win the league in the end. Hillsborough was rocking. We was in high spirits going into the championship. Well, at the time, going into the playoffs. because by then we'd pretty much confirmed a top 5 finish. Then we lost 4-0 against Peterborough in the first leg, and Darren Moore got racially abused, which again is wrong. Racism is not a place in football. I've said several times, football is a family sport. It's not a violent sport. People's come to me and said football is not a family sport at all, but it is. People take the kids to football, and that. They shouldn't need to witness racist abuse to any of football managers. They shouldn't need to witness any violence, attacks or out like that. But yeah, and again, going on to Wednesday, I was like losing 4-0 in the first leg, down more racially abused, and then it got to the point where this Wednesday fan videoed himself just for the reactions of him ripping up the second leg ticket at Hillsborough. And then good for him, because he's missed the greatest comeback in playoff history as
Exactly.
well. And again, the people who was against Dalmore got behind him after that. And I'm like, there was a few times last season where we bottled the top 2, and I wanted him out at one point. But then he won me back when we went on that 23-game unbeaten run. And that lot, we lost to Barnsley twice last season. The only team to do the double over us, by the way. And I was like, we need to give him a chance in the Championship. If it doesn't work by Christmas in the Championship with Darren Moore, then we've tried, get rid of him. But with Zisco now, it's like he's got a plan A, but when that plan A doesn't work, he hasn't got another plan. And it's like he played this attacking football with Watford, and it's like, where's that attacking football coming into play at Sheffield Wednesday? Because every time we try going forward, as you would have seen against Sunderland last night, when we go forward, Sunderland players just all run round him at once, and then we're forced to go backwards. Or the players worry, and they just hoof it long. We lose possession straight away.
I've seen a lot of that last night. Yeah, I've seen quite a lot of that. On the live chat, UK Dream Bus of Vids, which was Robert Houston, he said, I was angry what 2 Sheffield Wednesday fans did yesterday. Exactly, I was very fuming what happened there yesterday between the 2 lads. Keisha says, we all are, Robert, mate. Even Sheffield Wednesday supporters should be ashamed of what the 2 fans have did. Best thing Sheffield Wednesday did last season was beating Newcastle in the FA Cup. I was in stitches. I hate Newcastle United. Also, 1991 was the last time Sheffield Wednesday won a trophy. Person who would be ideal for ownership is Peter Carrick. A Sheffield Wednesday fan, he's got billions from songs like How Long by Ace. Very interesting, Robert. You've got really good, really good knowledge of history. That's it. It's really good knowledge about history. So, yeah. So that's about, I kind of say, wraps it up for this evening. We've talked about obviously the transfer embargoes and stuff, and we've talked about obviously the statement, what Chansiri said. We've talked about the highs and the lows of Sheffield Wednesday, Sunderland win. So yeah, we've talked about a lot of things this evening, and it's been great having you on, Mitchell. Thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure to have you.
It's been a pleasure to obviously be on,
because I've always been on your shows, and it's about time that you're coming on. Like, you see your face on our podcast as well. It's a nice. When do we play you at home? I think it's the last game of the season we play you home.
Yes, it's last game of the season.
What I'll do is on that week is I'll try and get you back on again.
Yeah, I'll be up for that.
Yeah, I might try and get you on before that as well for obviously championship predictions, because what I did was last season is I had a lot of like championship fans from different clubs come on. So if you want to represent your club, you're more than welcome to.
Well, obviously I do championship predictions on my channel as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it. But anyway, subscribe to RWA Productions and subscribe to, what's your channel called again, Mitchell?
Owls Talk.
Owls Talk. So subscribe to Owls Talk as well as RWA Productions. Appreciate it. Take care. Peace out.
All the best for the rest of the season, Mitchell.
All
Yeah,
the
you
best
too.
for the rest of the season as well. Take care, everyone. Goodbye for now.